Hey everyone, and welcome back. This week we're going to be talking about codes. So what are codes, and what's a simple way for you to understand how codes can help you move forward in your life, in your business, and all of the areas. Before we do that though, I have a couple of quick announcements for you. So as of the time that this episode is coming out, today should be September 6th, and that is New Paradigm Open House. And if you haven't heard me talk about it yet, click the link in the show notes. You can register. It's not too late. We start at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you happen to miss it live or you have another obligation, you will get the replay. So that's fine. New paradigm, new business paradigm is something I'm going to be teaching about all fall. There will be different opportunities of coursework that you can jump into with me. So open house is really explaining what I mean when I'm talking about the new business paradigm and give you a picture of what it looks like to step into these containers with me. Now, note that it is a free event. The open house is a free event. However, registration is required. So click the link in the show notes, register. I'll send you the Zoom link. If you miss it live, you'll get the replay. Check. Okay. The other quick thing I want to note is that starting tomorrow, September 7th, is a 3-part event, and that is the Rebirth Codes. So one of the reasons I wanted to explain to you what I'm talking about and how codes can be beneficial for you in your life and your business is because I'm going to be delivering codes to you for the first official time. And the 3-part event, it's this September 7th, 8th, and 9th. That is a donation-based event. Do not donate to me. This is an event to raise money for a very powerful organization run by Jenny Joseph. Her organization is called Common Sense Childbirth and Midwifery School, and she's doing amazing things in the birth world and beyond. If you're not familiar with her, you will be. I'll add a link to her website specifically on the donation page. You can donate whatever amount feels good to you. No obligation. If you're in a position right now that you actually cannot donate, that's okay. You're still welcome to come. The whole point of creating opportunities like this and accessibility whenever possible is because this is an example of what it looks like to move into a different way of doing business, into a new business paradigm. This is a situation, this is an example of how doing things in our lives and our business are not always about me, send me money, pay me. Yes, I enjoy receiving money. And yes, my clients love to pay me. It's a beautiful exchange. But when we get down to the root, really, of what money exchange is all about, it's really beyond what we understand as money. Money is a made-up thing. You know, if you go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years, they weren't necessarily exchanging currency, money. We made money. Money is not a bad thing, but it's just a way of having an exchange. And part of moving into the new paradigm, the new business paradigm, is opening up to other ways of having exchanges. And sometimes it's not always money. And sometimes it's not only for us. Sometimes we are allowing an exchange to benefit another organization that's important to us. Sometimes it's adding more opportunities for accessibility to your important work when possible. There's a lot, and this is not like, this is the only way to do this. There are a lot of ways that you can do this. There are no limits, truly. This is just one example and how I'm showing you with example of what it looks like to move into a new way of doing your work. Now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't charge for your services. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't charge for your courses. I have paid courses. I have paid courses coming up. I have one-on-one private mentorship. However, when there are opportunities to create something that will help a lot of people and be accessible, even if it's at a different type of exchange, I enjoy being able to do that. And it truly is a privilege to be able to do that. And I think it would be doing us all a disservice if I didn't acknowledge that that's a privilege that I'm able to do that. So I would love for you to come, no matter what amount you can donate to Jenny Joseph's organization, whether that's $0 or a few dollars or a couple dollars. The goal here is for you to check in with yourself and feel into what feels correct for you and make a donation directly to her organization, and then meet me on Zoom September 7th, 8th, and 9th. And also you will need to register for that. So I'll be sure to share that link. Hopefully by the time this episode comes out, the link will be ready for you. All right. Now, let's move into the codes. What are we talking about, right? When I say rebirth codes, what exactly am I talking about? If you are in the spiritual spaces, if you're in the online business space and you follow certain spiritual accounts, you may have heard people say like coding and they've got the codes for this, or there's programs called code something. And if you're anything like I was a few years ago, you're like, what the hell are we talking about? So let me explain to you a couple of ways of thinking about it that I find really helpful and that I found incredibly helpful in my early exposure to the language codes. So it's my belief, as you may have heard me talk about before, and this is not me pushing my belief on you, but it is my belief that we are individuals who are coded based on our experiences now in this life. And my personal belief system is that I take it up a notch a little, that I believe our coding is also based on our soul's ancestral experiences. So going back in our lineage and our soul's past life experiences. You don't have to believe the same thing as me for you to benefit from the coding that I'm going to be sharing in the Rebirth Codes, the 3-part event, or from other people's coding, right? You don't have to have the same belief system. Here's one way for me to explain it. A couple months ago, I talked a little bit about how back in the 90s, in some of the early video games, I remember specifically Mortal Kombat. And when all my brother and all of his buddies would play Mortal Kombat, there were these cheat code books. And if you wanted to get to the next level in video games in a specific game, right? Because there was different years for Mortal Kombat and different versions and whatever. To get to a specific level, you needed the specific code. And I wasn't a video game player, so I may mess this part up, but just for the concept, bear with me. It was like X, 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 Y, Y, push up, push down, all these buttons you had to push on the controller to get the exact code to get you to advance to the next level, right? So hang with me with this explanation and this example. I think of us as individuals that we are unique cheat code books for each other. And we have coding within us, as I explained a minute ago, based on our experiences that help other people get to a different level of their business, of their life, of motherhood, of parenthood, of their relationship, of their love of self, of their love of their own body, anything, truly, of the way that they think about money, of the way that they think about the earth, whatever it is. And we are uniquely coded to help other people, right? So how is the code? How do I get you the codes? Right? Let's say I'm coded for specific things, which I am, as are you. How do I share my codes with you? Okay. The way I think of this, which is really simple, but I like these little simple examples because they help me anchor the concept in what might feel like a really kind of out there foreign concept. It helps me anchor it in. So I imagine in my head that I have like this template inside of my system. And there's lots of them, different templates, different cheat code books. For me to transmit the code to you, I like to imagine that what it looks like is I'm taking that one template out and copying it, Control C, and then transferring that template to you, Control V, pasting it, but then you can customize it. So you're not necessarily going to download exactly the same way I move forward with the code in my life. Hanging with me here? So it's like copy, paste, here's your template. Now you can go and customize it. In the world of business, I think of it as like a Canva template. If you ever use Canva for business, you can go on like Etsy and purchase these beautiful Canva template packages, right? You get these amazing templates. They're customizable. They're fully customizable. So you can put your exact dates, your exact copy, the language that you want to put, your logo if you want. You can customize all these beautiful things, right? And this is kind of what that's like, but for life experiences, for cheat codes to move forward even though the word cheat feels a little bit like it's not doing this justice, right? But I think the example helps it anchor in. So these help you move forward in whatever those areas are. My specific things, I'm going to share more in the 3-part rebirth codes, the things that I believe that you need to start to move into a space of rebirthing your business, and things that I have truly anchored into my system and put into practice, action for the last few years, that I believe you need and would be very helpful. I shouldn't say that you need, right? I don't know what you need. That would be very helpful for you to move forward to where we're going next. And I'll be sharing more about where we're going next week and in the rebirth codes, because this is kind of one of those things that it's a journey. We're moving through a journey together. And this part I have made super accessible because I believe that it will help a lot of people to get out of some of the old ways of doing business and open up to and activate what's within you to move into a new way of doing business. Okay. Another thing about codes that I want to share with you before we go. There's a lot of different ways people can transmit codes. We'll say that, right? Working one-on-one with me, like when I work one-on-one with a client and I'm in Voxer every day with them, they are getting complete access to my energy, my codes, and they are receiving transmissions from me all day, every day. When you're in a group program with me, you get a piece of my energy and you get access to my codes all day, every day. And when we have a specific container that we're entering into together with intention, so for example, the rebirth codes, we know we're stepping into this container specifically for me to transmit the codes to you and to activate these things within you, and we're moving with intention, this can be a very potent, a very powerful transmission. And my hope is that it will activate or open up something within you to help you move forward, to get our feet out of the mud, to shift things as you move through your life, through your business, through your days, and to help you move on to the next steps. I hope you have found this incredibly helpful. And again, if you need all the links to get the Zoom links and all the pieces for the next few days, click the link in the show notes. My advice is, if you cannot make it live, my advice, and here's a personal tip. Yeah, this is a rapid life expansion hack. You're not going to like this if you're a Netflix binger. Replace Netflix with some of the replays. Not just mine, but anybody's. If you've purchased courses, if you have been wanting to watch a thing with these, if this is something that's important to you and you know that it's correct for you and you can't make it live, substitute some of your Netflix time for replays. I have been doing this for a long time in my life and in my business, and I can tell you, I don't make it to many live things because I have a very busy life. However, don't watch a whole lot of Netflix anymore. I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. I replace with intention some of that stuff. There's a time and a space for Netflix. But if you're serious about moving forward and you desire something different for your life, it's time to start doing things a little differently. A little bit of soft, tough love for you. All right, have a good week, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you soon on Zoom. Bye.